Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going over my MLB PrizePicks plays for Tuesday. We have a large slate today, full slate of games, a lot of props to pick from. Board isn't fully updated yet, but we have enough to where we can definitely feel comfortable with some of the selections we're going to make. Got 4 props for you guys. Let's go ahead and get started. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it if you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out all the other links down below if you haven't signed up yet on PrizePicks. Gives my code process for a deposit match up to $100. Yesterday, I just went 2 and 2. Once again, McClanahan ruined the Nerfy. A lot of people were on that prop. It looked really good on paper, and then 2 outs, gave up a lefty bomb to Rizzo. Don't know what to say. And then Barrios did not have his stuff. He got hit hard, but did get the over strikeouts on Burns. He had 10. And then Garrett Cole absolutely smashed his fantasy score with a dozen strikeouts, I believe, and went like 7 innings. So see what we can do today. Hopefully at least 3 and 1, if not a complete sweep, would be nice. First prop I'm going to go ahead and put in is going to be Tony Gonsolin, over 5 strikeouts. I really love this prop. If we look over at how often he's hit this prop, it's been at least 10 straight starts where he's gotten you at least 5 strikeouts. The Dodgers have a reputation of not letting their starting pitchers go very deep, and except for, like Buehler can go over 90 pretty routinely, but for Gonsolin, he hasn't really gone over 92 pitches at all this year, but he doesn't really need that many pitches to still be effective. He continues to go 6 strong innings. He's done that in 6 straight starts, gone 6 innings, and he's gotten over 20 fantasy points an absolutely large number of times in a row. The 3 times that he fell short of 5 strikeouts were his first 3 starts of the season, where he threw some of his least amount of pitches, 62 on opening day. Not opening day, but on his first start. Then he threw 74, then he threw 83. But recently, he's gotten you at least 5 Ks in 10 straight starts, like I mentioned, but some of these times he's gotten you 6 or 7. It's gotten 7 a number of times, and hopefully they let him throw 90 pitches or so to where he's able to work pretty deep. He doesn't give up very many walks and doesn't give up very many hits either, so he's able to work pretty deep. He was only giving up 32 hits in 63 innings, which is really remarkable. So he's able to work pretty deep into the game, even though they don't let him throw a ton of pitches. If we look at the matchup here for the Cincinnati side, they do have a lot of guys with 20+% K rate. So I do feel confident that Gonsolin with his 26.4% strikeout rate will be able to navigate this lineup pretty well and get a lot of strikeouts. Also has a lot of righties that he's going to face off against, 7 righties in the projected lineup. So he's been pretty similar to both sides of the plate. 26% K rate to righties, 26.6 against lefties. So Gonsolin, first guy I'm going to put in. Second prop is going to be a total bases prop, and this one's going to be Mike Trout. Taking the over 1.5 total bases for him. A lot of people were on this one as well yesterday. I saw on Twitter. I didn't come through, but this one is one, and I don't see him missing this prop 2 times in a row with how hot he's been. If we look at the matchup here, the Angels have one of the highest totals on the slate. It's going up against John Hessley. And they're at home, wind blowing out a little bit. Trout was on an absolutely great tear before last night's game with 5 home runs in his last 5. So, as you can see in his last 10, Trout's really batting well after he was in like an 0 for 22 slump. He's batting .316, 7 home runs, most of them coming against the Mariners. And he's also done just extremely well at home this year compared to on the road. .364 average at home with 12 bombs. So, hopefully he's able to hit 1 home run and we're able to easily get this over 1.5. But that is the second prop I want to go with. Third prop is going to be a fantasy score one, and it's going to be Kyle Gibson. It's only at 29.5 right now. Another one that I feel good about. I do like the Phillies to win this game, and they are a little bit on the underdogs on the sportsbook, so we're getting a pretty good value with the fantasy score. You have the other side with Martin Perez has a little bit of a higher score because they have him projected for the win. But personally, I believe the Phillies can definitely win this game, even though they are on the road. They've just been playing really, really good baseball since they fired Joe Girardi. If we look at the matchup for Gibson, he's done pretty well this year. Last start he pitched really well against the Marlins. He pitched well against the Diamondbacks, and if he is pitching well, they do let him go pretty deep into games. He's had a couple of starts this year where he's thrown over 100 pitches. Started off the season a bit. Had a great start against Oakland, but then not 2 great starts on the road. This one is on the road in Texas, but it's a pretty good pitching ballpark compared to Citizens Bank Park. And if we look over here at the strikeouts, the Rangers do strike out a decent amount, 19th in baseball. So about 11th worst in terms of striking out a lot. And the Los Angeles Angels have, actually, they're now tied with the Braves for the most strikeouts. So it's been a struggle for the Angels in terms of not striking out. But the Rangers also not too far away with 8.58 per game. And we could see like a different lineup here. A couple of guys out for them. So you'll see in the projected lineup here some lefties, some switch hitters, some righties. Only guys you're going to be really worried about are going to be a couple of the top guys. Simeon is still having a pretty cold season, even though he was hot like a couple weeks ago. He's still not really lived up to the contract extension. Still has a lot of time to make up for it. But Seager could be one to worry about, but he also is batting like below 225, I believe. And there are some strikeouts in the middle of the lineup, and he's done a good job against lefties and righties. Maybe he doesn't strike out a lot of lefties, but the ISO is pretty similar. The WOBA is pretty similar. The soft contact rate and the hard hit rate is a little bit lower against lefties. So if Gibson is able to go 6 strong, if the Phillies do manage to get him the win, should have no problem hitting this 29.5 fantasy. And then the final one I'm going to go with is going to be a Nerfy, and I know if you don't want to roll with another Nerfy, you can fade this one, but and just run with the other 3. But taking the under half a run in the Diamondbacks-Padres game, this one I expect to be a pitching duel. You get a couple of the lowest totals on the slate, and that's always ones where you want to take advantage of Nerfies. On props.cash, this one has like a 50+% chance of hitting, like 54 I believe, just because Sean Manaea hasn't been great this year, but he's at home in terms of like limiting Nerfies. But this one, you get the lowest total on the slate for the Diamondbacks, and you got Gallen and Manaea. Both pitchers pitching really well this year. Manaea coming off of a rough start last time, only went 4 innings. Should be able to bounce back here at home. And if this one on Sportsbook, this one is like a -159 to hit. So hopefully you don't get another solo home run to ruin it. But that would be my favorite Nerfy out of any of these games. Another one that I would consider would be the last game of the slate, just because you get a huge ballpark and 2 not great offenses going at it. So that would be another Nerfy to consider. But in general, do like the Padres and the Diamondbacks as my favorite one. You can play this as a flex. You can mix and match. Play a little bit in power play if you wanted to. But that's what I got for you guys today. Gonsolin over 5 strikeouts. Mike Trout over 1.5 bases. Gibson over fantasy. And Diamondbacks Padres no run first inning. If you have any other props you want my input on, you can put them down below in the comments. Best of luck tonight, and I will see you all next time.